Hello guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. If you are new here, welcome so much and feel at home. And the main important thing, kindly consider subscribing because it really supports my channel. And so today, as you have read down there in the headlines, I'll be telling you how my Saudi Arabian boss raped me. It was very painful because nobody was there like to encourage me and to take legal action being in a new country. First of all, this is the video that I promised you that I was to do in my previous video, the video that I was talking about how I slept with snakes and how I I fed the snakes in the Saudi Arabian country. In that video, a lot of people were complaining that I was talking in another language. Yeah, I was talking in Kiswahili. I was mixing Kiswahili and English so that I could address both audiences. Yeah, so let me take this chance to tell you how I slept with my Saudi Arabian, how he raped me. And initially I promised you that I was to redo the whole video in English. So for them that didn't see it, I will pin it down here, or if at all I'll forget pinning it, kindly go and watch it. So I left you at the point where during the night the snake had come and like it slept on top of me. Yeah? And I thought in my mind that I was dreaming. So after that, immediately the next morning, when I went to feed the snake, it misbehaved. Yeah, and so that is the point that I was changed with another lady to come and feed that snake, so that I went to other roles. While I was enjoying my roles, I forgot to tell you that my boss, Mrs. Boss, was a businesswoman, yeah, and they were both business people, but because the man had some underlying health issues, the wife was the one who used to go for business trips for quite often, yeah, and so there is this time when the Mr. Boss now, the man, he approached me and told me like because they changed my roles, yeah, I had to do him a favor, yeah, and I was like, which kind of favor is this? Being a Christian girl, I was, due to respect, I was ready to hear which favor was it, so that I can judge whether I'll be able to do the favor for him, or I won't be able. So hearing his request, he told me like because they shifted my roles, I had to do him that favor, yeah, like I had to favor him, I had to sleep with him. Being grounded from a Christian background, I told him no, that will not happen, yeah, and I stood with that. So there is this day that our Madam Boss went for a business trip. Remember, I forgot to tell you, remember, I was not the only a house help in that home, yeah. We had gardener, we had, see, you know those how the rich people employ like a lot of people, yeah. We had driver, whatever. So when the Madam Boss went for business trip, we remained home, yeah. So there is this day that I was coming from the bathing room, yeah. I had my towel on, yeah, but a respectful towel. So at the corridor, I met with the boss. Yeah. When I went when I was approaching my room, like our room, I remember that I forgot my t-shirt in the bathroom. Yeah. So in the process of returning back, I noticed that that man was looking at me in a weird way, and I was like, oh my goodness, oh my God, what is happening? So I decided to turn, and I changed my decision. I went and changed immediately. Um, During the nini inaitwa nini, the feeding hours, we ate because we used to not we used not to eat in the same place. We took the food for him at the dining hall, and for us, we ate at the same place. So after that, he called me to assign me some duties. Mm, he asked me to go to his room and pick the socks for him. So after that, the man followed me to the room. Yeah. He held me and he wanted to rape me. For that day, it was successful for me because I really screamed. Yeah. After screaming, he slapped me. Yeah. This is a very emotional thing that has ever happened to me. Remember, I'm in a new country, I'm in a different country. I've already left my mother country, yeah, and I don't have anyone that I can depend on. So there is no that room for saying that I will sneak. Even if I will sneak, where would I go to? Where would I go to? I don't have anyone that I know. I don't have relatives around. So I had to swallow my pride and stay there. So after slapping me, I went, like, he opened the door and he did this to me. Like, he pointed the door to me and did this. Like, this means keep quiet, shut up. So I shut back up and I went. So before I went, he peeped and he saw that there were, like, that screaming attracted attention, and there were my fellow workers who had come to look like what was happening. And immediately when I went out, they realized that there was something. So at that point, I realized that I was not the first one that the boss was trying to harass sexually. So when I went back, I decided not to tell anyone. So I realized that the two girls were familiar with the action. They asked me, like, what was happening? What were you doing in the boss's bedroom? I tried to hide the whatever, and I told them, like, nothing was happening, nothing at all. And they asked me, but we heard you screaming. I told them, like, it is an emotional story. I was yet to tell them later, but I never told them because I felt like, so you know, the girls, I felt like they will betray me someday. They might tell the madam boss that I've been sleeping with the boss. But this very day, there is absolutely nothing that happened. Uh, so I thank God because it is that scream that really helped me. So after Madam Boss came, yeah, I I was really worried, yeah. So remember, I forgot my whatever. I forgot my slippers in her room, but thank God our slippers, like, we used to wear the same color slippers because when she goes for shopping, she buys everything like uniform. So it was really rare for her to know. So here comes the the bitter part of it. After some 2 weeks, our madam went back to for business trip. Yeah, she went for some. I think it was 4 days. So when she went there, the same trick happened. The boss told me like this time round he wants me to serve his food, to take his food to his bedroom, yeah. And because I felt like inside my spirit, I felt like there is something that this man wants to do. I told him, please, I don't want to take your food to your bedroom. He shouted at me. He told me, I am your boss. I'm the one who employed you here, and it's not vice versa. What could you have done? I just decided to do it. I gave him a benefit of doubt. On reaching there, he told me, if you dare scream, I will do something bad to you and you will regret for the rest of your life. And I was like, what is this? I was really shivering. I was really, a lot of cold covered my body. And so I decided to just to keep quiet. And inside my heart, I was really praying. I was really telling God, please don't allow it to happen. Because first of all, he has told me like, don't try to scream. Remember, first of all, by that time, I was a virgin. I was really scared of that thing, yeah? And I started interceding and I was telling God, you know the reason as to why I've kept myself up to this point as a virgin, and so please, if at all he needs to do this, kindly, God, don't allow this to happen. After that, um, the man had something like um, a cloth, let me call it a cloth for lack of a better word. He had a cloth, like a cotton cloth, okay? He told me, come closer. Come here. If you dare shout, you'll get to regret for the rest of your life. I decided to shut up, okay? So he picked that cotton cloth and covered my whatever, covered my mouth, yeah? He covered it tightly. And after that, he pushed me onto his bed, yeah? Remember, the main reason as to why he invited me to his room, don't forget, it's because he told me like he wanted me to serve his food in his bedroom, yeah? Mainly because he was tired. He was tired in quotes. And remember, the main aim, his main intention was to have sex with me. So after that, I saw him like what do I call it? I saw him overturning the the mattress, and down the mattress was packet of some condoms. Okay, he pulled one, and then he, what do we call it? He wore the condom, and then immediately I was like, oh my god. I started crying. I hope that you are understanding. I started crying, but I didn't. I didn't make any noise because I was really feeling bad. So I didn't want to shout because initially he told me like, if I dare shout, I will regret. He will do something that I'll regret for the rest of my life. So I decided not to shout. I told myself like, just compose yourself, and God will intervene. But this time round, there was nothing that I could do to protect myself. So after, you see, I was on top of the bed. So he immediately, like, he was really rough on me. He took my pants off, and he raped me. It was really painful, Remember, I was a virgin by that time. It was really painful. At least he could have done it like someone doing it to a human being, but he did it like he was slaughtering an animal. My parts was really ripped because down there he had a very big part. Yeah, it was really painful to an extent. Like, I remember taking the pillow and like I I took the pillow and had to bite it because of the pain that I felt. It was really emotional yet painful for me. So immediately after that, after having the sex with me, he didn't consider the pain that I've felt. He told me in a commanding voice, wake up and go back to your and start doing your roles before madam comes back. Yeah. Then in the process of waking up, because of that pain, I was not used to such things. He told me, if I dare hear this thing with anyone, I'll do something to you. So I had to shut up. I remained silent with that. You know, inside my spirit, that was not my intention. Yeah. So before I went, he told me to pick some tissue and pick the whatever they used condoms. So I had to pick them and throw them to the dustbin. So without forgetting that I had brought the food to his room, guess what? He didn't eat the food. I went with the food back. So on reaching the kitchen, I started crying bitterly, bitterly. It was really haunting me to the point like I started asking myself, why did I come to Saudi Arabia? Why didn't I remain to Kenya? But pointing back to the fact that I came from a very humble background, it was really bitter for me. I had to swallow it day in, day out. Um, so, after some 4 days, um, Madam came back, yeah? So, when Madam came back, there is this mm, fellow workmate who used to ask me, like, why are you working like that? Yes, you understand? After a rape case, you understand that when someone is raping you, he doesn't do it in a friendly way. He doesn't care what will happen with you. Yeah. So I developed some abnormal way of working. Yeah. So there is this former colleague who, like, she told madam like there is something that I did, like she's suspecting there is something I did. So madam started to do her own investigation. um, she called me to a certain room, a guest room, and she told me like to open up. I remember him telling me like, have you by any chance slept with my husband? I told her no. No, I didn't sleep with your husband. I didn't want to disclose that because remember, the husband told me like, if at all I dare hear this information with anyone, you'll get to regret for the rest of your life. So I didn't want to risk it. So I remained silent, absolutely silent, because I didn't want any dangers to my life. Um, that thing continually haunted me, and it doesn't mean that I'm proud of it. Up to this point, I'm not proud of it. It's very emotional to the point that He really wasted my life, and everything turned upside down. Up to that point, I don't think I'm going to continue with this. Kindly like, share, subscribe, share so that this video will reach as many people as possible. To them that are in Gulf, I'm not sharing this video to discourage you. Just work hard and be prayerful. Bye bye. Let's meet in our next video.